It's been a challenge forever, and it still is. We know the reflection's really important. There's so much research continually coming out talking about how that reflective process is such an integral part of how we learn, but it's really challenging to embed within programs, and we've seen teams doing that in lots of different ways. But what we learned when we were going out making videos the old way, so we'd go out with a camera crew and we'd interview people, we realized that through that interview process, we were guiding people through that reflective process. So by having an understanding of what the learning talent team wanted to communicate, winding that into the individual's story and helping draw out that experience from the individual was guiding them through reflection. So one of the really important things that we had to build into StoryTagger was making sure that we could replicate that reflective guided structure within a self-service app. And it's actually one of the things that we probably put the most time into developing that part of the app. But when you look at it now, it's just so simple, you wouldn't actually think that very much effort went into it. But it's such an integral part of what the app does, and I think it's such an integral part of what the interviewer does when they're capturing that video content. So we had, I don't know, was anyone at the session in T4 this morning about lessons learned? There's a couple of you. So we used StoryTagger in that session, and it was encouraging people like yourselves to share their fail stories from their kind of learning and development lives. And we created a story structure which enabled people to talk about where the sort of environment they were working in, what went wrong, what they learned from it, what they could share with others, and then wrapping up with just some key points of what they'd really like to share or do differently. And it's a great example of how that reflective process can be kind of built into a self-service environment.